Peace. Hey, sweetie. I just wanted to hop on here and answer a quick question about why I use cacao, also known as unpasteurized chocolate, why I use cacao that costs $50 a pound. A common question I get is, is there something I can use that's cheaper? Why do you use this one? What makes this one so special? And I'm gonna tell you, because this shit is the bomb. This is not me just talking about something because I want to be an affiliate and like make a bunch of money off sales. This has literally been the result of hundreds of dollars, like spending hundreds of dollars trying to find other cacao so I could save $20 or so. So the reason that I use this cacao, Keats cacao, and not something cheaper, even though I've really fucking tried really hard to find something cheaper, is because I have had, like, hands down the most amazing benefits from it. So my PMS symptoms, gone. Every time I've tried another type of cacao, there's a few things I had to deal with. One, I had to deal with grittiness or like kind of weird thin consistency. I try other cacao and every single one of them by comparison to Keats cacao is higher caffeine. So if you're like me and you're someone who can't drink coffee, you're sensitive to caffeine, like literally I drink a cup of cacao, like I drink a cup of coffee and I start getting heart palpitations. Like that's how sensitive I am to caffeine. So when I heard about cacao, I was like, oh cool, this is something else I can use and like gives me some energy, whatever. But every single fucking time, like every other cacao I had, like some of it would give me headaches, some of it, like I smelled one time and it made my womb space hurt. And I was like, I'm drinking cacao for like the medicinal, the relaxation, the spiritual benefits. And if I smell something and it makes my woman's space hurt, that's an automatic no, obviously. So there's that. And also with this particular cacao that I use that costs $50 a pound, it has the highest level of theobromine. So theobromine is something that helps your brain produce serotonin. So it's kind of like buying really shitty weed versus like buying really good weed that's like gonna get you really high. That's probably like an interesting combination, but like when I'm talking about theobromine, it's just like, how much of that serotonin or, like that bliss chemical, stuff do you want to experience? Because when it comes to cacao, when it comes to that euphoria feeling that people talk about when they eat chocolate, or like in the Dove commercials and the lady's like bathing in all like the silk and the chocolate and she's like in a giant vat of chocolate for some reason because it's so good. It's the serotonin that produces that experience. So when you have real unpasteurized chocolate, that is what you actually experience. And that's just on the physical level. With unpasteurized chocolate, you also have a high level of endocannabinoids, the legal kind that they don't test for on drug tests and all that stuff. So the more I tried to find cheap cacao, the more I just kept like having to come back to Keats cacao every single fucking time. Because at first I was like, what is this white dude's name and why is he on this block of cacao? I don't want to buy this. I want to find something else. And also, when I was first doing my cacao ceremonies, I was doing them having such little money in the bank that I would literally have to wait for the first person to confirm for the ceremony before I even went out to get the cacao for the ceremony. And since I have to wait like 4 to 5 business days just, for shipping, just normal shit, I was like, well, maybe there's something I can do, like some other place I can find it, and I can just use that cacao instead so I can literally buy it the day before. But what happened was I used a more locally available source that is also, unpasteurized chocolate. Like it's legit cacao and it's thinner consistency. It's super fucking high caffeine. So it made my head hurt several times. So like I was in this weird position trying to do this cacao ceremony with thin cacao that also was already like kind of blowing out my circuits with all the caffeine content. And then even when I tried to like power through, like make it lower dose and like maybe not drink the whole thing, it's like I wasn't having the same spiritual benefits either. when I say spiritual benefits, like, let me go deeper into that because that part is really fucking important. So when I first started using cacao, it was purely to heal my complex PTSD that I had from being homeless for 2 months and living out of my car in the middle of winter, and after having like dealt with sexual assault and losing my job and having someone break into my house the week before Christmas. So I had a lot of reasons to be not feeling safe in my body. So even months after all of those things had changed on the outside, I was still feeling really unsafe in my body. I was doing the breath work, I was doing the yoga, I was trying to do meditation, but meditation was really fucking hard for me to do at the time. It was this cacao that fucking changed my goddamn life. Like, it was this stuff that like helped me drop into meditative states without even fucking trying, without like trying to like do like a guided meditation or something like that, which even with guided meditations, I would get bored eventually and just, start scrolling on Facebook again. This helped me like open my intuitive abilities to the point where like my tarot cards were talking to me. I already knew like the Google meanings of these tarot cards, but like all of a sudden, like about a month into drinking this cacao on a regular basis, like, every other day, I am just like channeling all this information from these tarot cards. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. No PMS symptoms, my tarot cards talking to me, like all of a sudden I'm able to meditate, I'm able to feel safe in my body. At the time that I was first drinking this cacao, I still had a full-time customer service job. Actually, I was working at a high volume restaurant. I had people just noise and people yelling at me all day and just like running back and forth up and down this restaurant. Really stressful shit. And all of a sudden, like all the stupid comments that people would make about my shaved head, all the racist shit, all the stuff is just like not even sticking to me. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. I can just like roll up into this shitty ass job and not give a shit, but also like, still give good service. Cause that's one thing about my integrity. Even if I don't like what I'm doing, I'm going to fucking do it to the fullest. I'm not going to take it out on people patronizing that business, that it's their fault that they're spending money with me. And I mean, their tips are paying my checks. So I was like, gotta be nice to them. But still, like, that's just one of those principles I've carried throughout my life. Whether I'm scrubbing a toilet or doing a cacao ceremony, like, I do shit to the fullest. So, eventually I was, doing my cacao ceremonies, and I was like, well, like, I had tried to use one other source of cacao, and it was completely night and day difference. Like, it was still a nice event, but it wasn't a ceremony. It was like, okay, cool, we got together and drank some chocolate, cool, whatever. It wasn't like the full, like, people connecting to their ancestors. That is something that happens consistently. Every cacao ceremony that I've been doing, like the last 8 months actually, with this cacao, people are like, wow, this is what's happening. So yeah, it's like whenever someone asks me that question now, like, oh, is there some other cacao that I recommend that they could use that costs a little bit less? I always let them know that they're gonna have to sacrifice taste also. So taste, caffeine content, and texture, and like thickness. And at that point, if you just want to have cacao to taste it, I would honestly just stick with eating a chocolate bar until you're really ready to have the full-on experience of like bringing this real ass practical magic into your life, relaxing your body, having all of these crazy amazing experiences for a $50 pound of cacao, when people who like go to ayahuasca ceremonies don't even have the kind of level of like experience that people have in my cacao ceremonies, and those things are like $300 a night. You're not even getting like, more than just like that one setting worth of doses. Whereas this is like 12 to 16, depending on, how dank you want to make it, how often you want to drink it. This is like a full-on like real life integration, practically bring all of your skills online, connect with your ancestors. The PMS things, just letting, like protecting your energy bubble. There's literally so many things I probably can't even fucking talk about in this video right now. But long story short, if you're trying to find a cheaper source of cacao, if you ask me to recommend a cheaper source of cacao, I'm not going to be able to answer that question for you. And trust me, again, like I've spent hundreds of dollars trying to find something cheaper. I'm like, oh, well, maybe this one will kind of give the same benefits. And then I won't have to be that person, you know, pushing the $50 pound of cacao, or, you know, using the most bougie thing on the market, whatever. But it's like, no, I'm not using it to be the most bougie person, in the place, which is like, it's just like, it's good shit. That's why I use it. I'm not gonna, use something lower quality, especially for my ceremonial purposes either. Like, I'm gonna use the best. I want you to have all of the benefits. I don't want you to have to drink a really bitter, sour cup of cacao. I don't want you to have to deal with the sandy shit at the bottom of the cup. I want you to have a really great experience. So if you want all of that experience, that is the kind of cacao that you want to get. Otherwise, just save your money and just, eat chocolate bars for now until you really, are ready to like step into having that kind of experience. Because trust me, it's fucking magical. I wake up every day like, damn, this is my fucking life. Every day I just wake up, this is my life. I fucking love my life. And I want you to feel that way. I want you to fucking love your life. All right, babes. Peace.